Boom! What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larsen. Welcome back to Sales Funnel Radio, and I'm really excited that you are here today because I have a very special guest on with me. Recently, I'll just tell you guys a little backstory so you know why we're doing this. Recently, I reached out to a bunch of designers and I said, hey, I really need to create these Facebook profiles, these Facebook profile frames. And if you guys know, like, remember back when, like, there's times when you've seen, like, on social media when there is these big, massive, really terrible events happen and people put, like, flags over the top of their Facebook profiles or things like that. I thought, like, well, why don't we do that for, like, our groups? And so what I did is I reached out to all these people and asked, hey, would you do this? A lot of them, in full disclosure, sent them back to me, and I did not like any of them. And so what I did instead is I reached back out to my audience, and I said, well, why not ask the actual audience and those in the group to do it instead? And it was incredible. So what I did is we ran this thing called the 3-day design challenge. And it's 3 days, people went in, and the challenge was, hey, I have these 3-4 groups, go create a Facebook profile template and a frame, and submit them here, and it will be, whoever wins, I'd love to critique your stuff on an actual episode of Sales Funnel Radio. Thus, we are here, and I'm with the incredible Sal Peer, and very excited that you are here. Super excited that you won. You won by a lot, and you're clearly a very talented designer. It's been awesome having you on here. You run a company called Funnel Chef, and yes. Anyway, I just want to thank you for being on here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a real honor. I've been following your stuff. Amazing. Like, just the amount and your presentation. Like, literally in the last year, it's just gotten better. Like, you've gotten better, and I see it.
Thanks,
So it's amazing to be on here with you. So the design challenge was so much fun. It was, like, it is a challenge, right? To design 5 frames with no direction. You're like, just do it. I trust you. Just do what you can. If you win, you win. I'm like, holy shit, there's no direction here. All right, let me. So I dug into all your stuff, right? So I went into the MLM hacks groups, the Sales Funnel Radio. I went into everything, and I was like, okay, what is he talking about? And I was like, oh, the cube. Like, he's talking about putting stuff together correctly. I was like, well, why don't we get a Rubik's Cube and kind of put the frame around that, and whoever's in there is like kind of figured out the Rubik's Cube for OfferMind and Sales Funnel Radio. So it was a lot of fun, man.
Dude, it was so cool. It's funny because I remember we were scrolling through all of them, and thank you first of all to everyone who did do it. It was great.
There was some awesome stuff on there.
Really cool stuff on there, But there was the ones that really caught my eye, and I was like, who? Oh, Saul. I was like, all right.
I hacked it though. I hacked it. I gotta say, I hacked it.
Good.
Because I submitted like my first drafts, which I never submit. I was like, let's just stick that out there. We'll create some traction. I'll see what people are doing, and then I'll come over the top like a minute before the competition ends and just be like, boom, that's
that's funny. I've noticed like a lot of the best people on Freelancer that I go run contests on there a lot. They do the same thing. They just toss something out and then they see it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you want to see, oh wow, he liked this one, so how do I make that better? That's what we look for. And the branding, I really wanted the branding to be strong. When somebody puts it on the frame, they recognize the colors, they recognize kind of the thing. That was very important.
Well, I've seen, so the intent was for a lot of my social agents and like our community ambassadors to be able to go and have those frames on their profile so that people knew, like, hey, this is a legit.
Yeah, it gives them status too. I mean, it's a really solid idea.
Yeah, it's been awesome. How did you become a designer?
So it's funny. Well, like, let's just go back to like 4 or 5 years ago. I was out of work. I was living retired, or my mom would say retarded life, and I was just like hanging out. And my wife got pregnant, and we bought a house, and I had like no money left, man. Like, I was $8.5 grand, which is like 3 months of paying the mortgage, but not the bills, the hospital bills, the insurance, the cars, all the stuff, and I was like, I got to do something. I didn't know what to do. And it's like you said, you test your market by presenting offers and seeing who reacts to it. And I was like, basically the same thing. I owned computer stores a long time ago, and I started them with classified sections. And I was like, why don't we just put out a bunch of ads and see if there's a market? Because we were talking, my wife and I was in dating and relationships as well. And we talked, and I was like, I don't want to do that because it will get me traveling everywhere, and I want to kind of stay put and maybe do 1 or 2 events a year. And she's like, well, why don't you do marketing, you know websites, you know marketing. You did it for computer stores in '98. Like you get this stuff. And I was like, well, I don't know if there's a market. I don't know where I'm going to get clients from. I don't know, like all these excuses just start piling up. Oh, it's going to cost me $3,000 in Google ads or $30,000 in Google ads to get clients. And I'm like starting to think, and I'm like, all right, well, let's do all the Google testing because I need to know Google, like back in and out. So I got 8 certifications from Google. Yeah. And I went and opened up a marketing agency by putting classifieds out everywhere, free ones.
Yeah.
Even lawn ones. I got, you ever the real estate ones where they have the lawn thing? Mm-hmm. I stuck that in the ground, and I was like, I got fined by the city, by the way, so I'm not recommending to do that, but it worked. That weekend, the ad was $197 for a basic website, 5 pages, and then I upcharged throughout it. And I sold like 6 of them. I was like, dude, I made $1,200 this weekend. I was like, there's something here, I look at myself as an entrepreneur, and I've been at this working for myself since I was like 5. I sold tourists to, my dad was a tour guide. I sold candy that I would get as a kickback from places he would take tourists to, back to the tourists on the bus to make money. So it was kind of in my genes, entrepreneurship, and I just saw a huge opportunity. And I was like, yeah, you got to get into it. And then I got into all this stuff. And then I tell you, I was like watching Russell's stuff, and I was like, I don't know, it's another marketing guy with the same old stuff. I worked with Mike Long. I had Frank Kern was part of a project that we launched a while back. And I was like, you know what? I got to do it. I got started hitting with ads. A bunch of my marketing buddies started coming in. I was like, I'm going to pick up the book. And then I just said, you know what? The book is so good. It's like Inception for real. And there's only a few books in my life that did that. And it got me integrated into this, like design. My mom was an interior designer, so I have taste. Sometimes, you could do stuff on Canva or stuff, but it's the creation and the creative that goes behind it before it gets touched up is where that's the gold, right? That's what makes everything else work. Because so basic awesome, Photoshop skills is easy, cool, but coming up with creatives, just like you come up with offers, it's difficult. You're like, well, what do you need? Well, we have to do all this research first and stuff like that. So it's been amazing.
That's so awesome, man. And again, thank you for it. You clearly won. And as far, guys, just so you know, like my offer back to whoever won was to go through their funnel. And so, which funnel is it? Do I get to go through?
So, obviously I've been with you and following you closely for a while now, and I built this funnel with you.
Sweet.
With you. So in OFA. So if you guys haven't taken his OFA and haven't signed up through his affiliate link, do it because the bonuses are amazing. Thanks, so I built it. It's actually converting on the front end really well. So it's like 37% conversion on the front end.
It's awesome.
And then once they're in, maybe my email follow-up isn't on point, or maybe the sales page isn't on point because it's not converting there. That's the problem. So it could be the offer. Yeah. I'm open to everything.
Cool.
Literally, because I've listened to you, I went and I recorded this live. I streamed it live, and then I turned it into a masterclass.
Sweet.
So,
that's awesome. That's super cool. Well, hey, I'm really excited about it, and we'll cut over now, and I'll start diving through your pages, man. This is awesome, and again, thanks for putting all the effort in to do the design, because I know it's a lot of work. It's a ton of work for design is its own beast. Holy smokes. So there's a lot on your end as well, so it means a lot. And where can everyone go learn more from you?
To get a free discovery call with me, cfchefsal.com. That's cfchefsal.com.
This is the funnel he built in the One Funnel Away Challenge. I have not... I did not see this when he was building it. I did not see... This is the result of that challenge. So I'm really excited to go through this. Being the One Funnel Away coach, see what it is that he created while in that challenge. The purpose of that challenge is to get your first funnel out the door. So if you've not had the chance to go through the One Funnel Away Challenge, you can go to ofasignup.com. ofasignup.com is where you can... you both sign up for the challenge, but then get a whole bunch of extra stuff that I give you, which is super awesome. Hey... So I'm going to walk through this here, but before we do that, I just want to tell you guys, those of you guys who are on iTunes, you may want to watch this episode. There's a few episodes, I know especially lately, I've said like you may want to watch this one, only because I'm a really visual learner and very visual teacher. I'm actually sharing my screen right now if you're on iTunes. And I'm going to walk through some stats that I'm seeing here. I've not really had much of a chance to go through it that much, and I want to with you, share with you some of the epiphanies that I'm having. Well, in order to do that, it's going to be really easy if you watch it. So I would make sure honestly, I'd watch this on YouTube. Anyway, hey, here are the stats, and he sent me over the screenshot of these stats. These are, looks like from the previous month. Okay, so this is July 1st, 2019 to June 1st, 2001. My dates are all over the place, sorry. June 1st, 2019 through July 1st, 2019, the last month. Okay, so here's a squeeze page, and sales page, squeeze page giving away something free. Sales page is selling something. The order page is where the actual checkout happens, and then there's an upsell, all right? Now, a few things with this. So I'm just going to walk through this, and from the numbers. Okay, you see the power of everything I tell you guys to do inside Sales Funnel Radio. One of the issues I see is that people wait so long to launch because they're like, it needs to be perfect. I can't give any feedback on something that isn't launched. You know what I mean? There's feedback I can give, but like after a while, man, even Russell Brunson's guessing. You know what I mean? Like we are guessing after a while. There are frameworks, there are patterns, there's models we know that cause success, most likely out of the gate. But after that, man, you need market feedback. You have got to have market data. So just launch, like get it out the door. And if no one's really seeing it, well, guess what? You really like, if it was like a bad offer, my guess is not many people saw it anyway. So who cares? Okay. So you just got to like get past like the fear of launching the thing. Just launch so we can get data. I need numbers. Everyone needs numbers. Okay. So the two times when people usually like me to look at their stuff is right before they launch to see if there's anything, you know, freaky or like, hey, you really missed this boat or that boat or whatever. And then the second time is after they launch, so that I have the opportunity to go through and help them understand more about what the market is trying to tell them. Okay, so let's look at this here. Okay, so we have got so his squeeze page. He had 342 people saw the page uniquely. 99 of them opted in. So he has a 28% opt-in rate on his squeeze page. Okay. The sales page, anyway, 113 people have uniquely seen that. So it means that some people are like, why is there differences in numbers? Every once in a while, someone will go just directly to this page and not the one before. So still, anyway, 113 people, 22 of them opted in. Now that is low. It's not crazy low, but it's 22 from 342. That's kind of, anyway. Let's keep going though. So 26 total uniquely saw the order form. Nobody bought it. Okay. So the first thing I would say right off the bat is like, it's like, Russell doesn't call it this, but I call it, it's the 1,000 rule, right? And I did learn this from him, right? He will not look at any funnel from anybody unless they've at least spent $1,000 in ads or there's 1,000 unique visitors to the first page. And so just right off the bat, I would say that's I'm going to agree with that, right? There's not even 1,000 people that have seen this funnel. So it's really hard for me to say like, oh, it's definitely the offer, like, because there's not enough data. 26 people, like on my current one, like I have an auto webinar that runs right now, right? And the auto webinar, we will have, let's see, I'm trying to remember the most recent stats I've seen. On that webinar, we will get like, it auto recruits 7%. It auto, meaning into the product itself. It auto sells 7% conversions of the whole webinar, which is awesome. You know, it's pretty cool. It doesn't sound like a whole bunch, but like when you consider the percentages I'm talking about here, right? Meaning it auto converts 7% of those who see the order page. Does that make sense? Of those who actually go to the order page, 7% of them are buying. So if I was to look at this, I'm like, okay, 0.07 times 26 people. That means one person with those conversions, which is not bad on an auto webinar, you know, which I haven't touched in a long time. One to two people max will have purchased, and that's a pretty good rate. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is not really enough data for me to see right out the bat. Now I'm saying that so that everyone can learn here. Now that being said, I want to walk through and check out some of these stats though. Okay, some of the actual pages themselves. So. Just looking at the numbers themselves, you should always be able to see where the kink in the funnel is, right? The funnel gets clogged, so to speak, at various spots. Now, one of the biggest issues I have when I see when people are starting to look at their funnels is that they start analyzing them from the bottom up. That's not the way the direction of the traffic flows, right? You need to analyze funnels from the top down. And so let me look at this funnel from the top down. So top down, is there an issue, right? On the very first page, 342 people saw it, 99 opted in. That's a 28% opt-in rate. That's pretty good, right? That's not bad. That's great, right? So is the issue right there most likely right from the get-go? No. It's probably most likely on the next page where we're still getting, it's not a bad conversion rate, 19%, but it's only 22 people have opted in to see the order page of the original 342. That's starting to get a little bit small there. That's a little bit shallow. 22 divided by the 342 here. Yeah, it's only 6% of the original traffic is seeing the order page itself. So I do want to go, does that make sense? Like before I even look at the pages, I can just start to see like, okay, something's happening either between what they're expecting when they leave the squeeze page and they go to the sales page. So there's a mismatch in messaging, or there's something in the sales page that's just literally not sexy enough for people to move forward on yet, right? Then finally, what can we do to the order page to cause more scarcity and urgency? I will tell you that in this scenario, I am not really even going to look at the upsell page. There's no reason to. Only one person saw it, and it might have been Saul when he was building it. Okay. Now, nothing that I'm saying right here, I hope that like. Nothing's bashing against what Saul's done, what he's created. It's awesome. It's super cool. You know, if we were in a live audience right now, I would say let's give him a round of applause because what he's doing right now, letting me go critique his thing, that's kind of a freaky thing in and of itself, right? So usually I do these sessions with people, you know, one-on-one or privately, not on a big old radio show. So anyway, let's go to this next piece right here. So if we look here, this is the very first page. And right here, the headline is how to generate 100 leads with free ads and no prior knowledge. Sign up now and get the exact same strategy that one entrepreneur used to get truckloads of customers with no experience and about 2 hours total effort. And then the next sub-headline, let me know where, the call to action headline. Let me know where I should send the secret information. Okay. So the first thing I would say with this is that it's not clear enough of who it's for. cfchefsaul.com. CFchef, so ClickFunnels Chef Saul .com. I understand the whole chef thing. The problem is that when I first saw it, my initial reaction was, but I don't cook food. You know what I mean? There's just such a strong tie to that. So I think the only way you're going to be able to combat that is if when you're looking at this page, you have clearly got to state who this is for and who it is not for. And we're not really doing that on this first headline. All we're saying is how to generate 100 plus leads with free ads and no prior knowledge. Okay, but for who? And like my assumption, like immediately the way sales psychology happens, I start to look for logical exits so I don't feel the pressure of needing to move forward. And so what I'm looking for right now is a reason to not move forward. And I believe the reason somebody would not move forward right now is they're looking at this and they're saying, you know what? I'm not in food. You know what I mean? Even though that's not who you're targeting, it's just the association of CF chef and you're wearing a chef hat. We got to get way more clear on who you're actually selling. So I know that you reached out to me and you said that who you're trying to sell is the Russell Brunson, Grant Cardone audiences, right? So I would put up here across the top, like, attention, those who follow Russell Brunson or Grant Cardone. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, like, that sounds weird, but calling out specifically and so clearly who it is you're actually trying to sell is part of sales psychology. And most of the time, like, one of the easiest ways to get people to buy from you guys is if you already have the offer, let's say you already have the sales message, let's say you already have the funnel, let's say you have all this stuff already built and you are not getting any conversions, most of the time, it's a messaging issue. And even further into that, like beyond it just being a messaging issue, people don't believe that what you are selling is actually for them. That's the issue. And so you have got to clearly call those individuals out. So I would say, so instead of how to generate 100 plus leads with free ads plus no prior knowledge, like we're not even calling out funnels in this headline. We need to at least do that. Like, so across the top, I'd have a bar that said like Garrett White does this, right? With his attention, married businessmen that are fat, overweight, and white. You know what I mean? Like it's something like that. He's like, and it's so look, like bam, 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 bam. It's kind of like those infomercials, late night infomercials. Are you currently on this medication and suffering with this and this and this in this region, in this age group, and you own this type of car and this demographic? And it was a full moon last Thursday. You know what I mean? They get really, really, really specific because they're calling out they're calling out someone. They have to call them out. That way people say, okay, I am in the right place. And then what they read, it pre-frames their head. And they're like, oh my gosh, okay, I should be getting 100 free leads, or how to generate 100 plus leads with free ads. Okay, how to generate 100 plus leads. You should say like as a funnel builder, or as a brand new funnel builder with no audience. How to generate 100 plus leads using free ads without prior knowledge or funnel experience. Without prior ads knowledge or funnel experience, or something like that. You know what I mean? If you do it in that manner, it's going to be way easier for people to say, I am in the right spot. The second thing I think you need here is a countdown clock. Warning, this form will self-destruct in 3, 2, like, that's cool, but some people might think it's cheesy. And so a few things just cosmetically to the page. Everything needs to rise. I'm on my massive iMac right now, and I still have to scroll down to see the button. Everything needs to lift on the screen so that I don't need to scroll down. Also, I have a countdown clock that something counts down every day to midnight or something like that. I don't know. But just, I would have a countdown clock though. Make sure you check your spam folder and whitelist CF Chef Saul. I love that. That's super cool. Anyway, yes, send my free video. I would call it the same thing every time too. Like it's an ebook, right? So I'd say, let me know where I should send the secret information. Say, no. Say, like, you need an offer. Every page has its own offer, not just the funnel itself. So this page here needs to have something to go, let me know where I should send this free ebook report, right? Don't ask for name, only ask for email. Get rid of the name. And then say, yes, send my free ebook. All right. And then if it's I think it's an ebook. I mean, you have an ebook there. Like call out the vehicle of what it is. Because here you call it a video, here you call it information, and I can't remember. I think you have another word for it somewhere too. Anyways, that would just massively clarify the squeeze page itself, because I don't actually know what the offer is. Right? Sign up now and get the exact same strategy that one entrepreneur used to get truckloads of customers with no experience and about 2 hours of total effort. Anyway, yeah. Cool. That's what I'd do in that one. The other thing that could be really helpful, like I truly believe that the issue with this page is there's very little scarcity urgency, which is like curiosity is why all squeeze pages convert. All registration pages, like, you need way more curiosity. Secondly, I would put, you just need massive more clarity on who it is that you're calling out. I think those are the biggest two things I see on the page here. Okay. Now, this video, okay, so we're on the next page here. So you opt in, you've auto sent me that information, and then on this page here, we've got your free gift is on its way to your inbox. Like, say it again, your free ebook, your free report, your free video, whatever it is. Call it the same thing across all pages. We need ultra clarity. You know what's funny is I went to SeaWorld with my little girls and my family last week, and when I was returning our rental car, it was like, you know, we rented a car from Enterprise, and we rented this. Never rent a Cadillac Escalade in a big city. That was terrible to drive a car like that in there. Anyway, but I'm driving back in, and it's like, I see the building, and it's like, Enterprise is on level 2. And as I start driving up to like this little spiral thing that takes you up, you know, the ramp, it's showing Enterprise on level 2. And then as I'm actually starting to get to where I should get off for level 2, it's like, did you know the Enterprise is on level 2? And then as I'm like pulling out, literally like 10 feet after I saw the previous sign, another one that says, hey, right here, you're in the right place if you need Enterprise, because it's on level 2. And I was like, holy crap, where's Enterprise? It's on level 2. I still remember that, right? And as I'm driving, there's all these signs. This is not Enterprise. This one is Enterprise. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I felt so over communicated, but because of that, it was calming to my decision-making brain. You know what I mean? Like, that's what, like, your messaging, it needs to be called the exact same thing across the entire thing, every time. Anyway, Learn how to convert your leads. Free gifts on the way before you go. Check this first. Okay, first thing, cosmetically again, everything needs to get lifted on this page. Everything. Go way, way, way up. Again, I should not need to scroll down. I'm thinking of my small laptop or even a phone. This button right here needs to be seen without me scrolling down. Second thing, just cosmetically in the page, I always put the offer above the fold also. So the offer needs to be above the fold. See, convert leads into paying customers without having to cold call. Convert leads into paying customers. Learn to convert your leads into paying customers. Convert leads into paying customers without having to cold call. So it feels like the same thing there. I would probably just delete that and get rid of a lot of this white space so everything shrinks up. So the issue is that you're asking for a call to action, but I don't really know what I'm clicking for yet. And I think that's one of the major issues that people are having with, I think it's one of the reasons why you're not getting as many people to your order page. I don't know why I'm clicking. Yes, I'm ready to convert more traffic. I thought I just got that though. You know what I'm saying? Like, get more leads. Like, you and I know that just because we get a lead doesn't mean they're a paying person. You're saying you want to convert those people? Like, I get it, but like someone who's coming in here, like, yes, I'm ready to convert more traffic. Get instant access when you enroll today. Enroll to what? So I haven't been told anything. I don't know what I'm enrolling for. Right below the video, I would put the offer. Like literally put a stack slide below that video and a countdown clock again and have everything go up. Okay, does that make sense? Like this right here. Get all the bonuses acting now. Right? Screenshot that right there. Put it underneath the video. And anyway. I also was watching your video, and as soon as I started watching the video, you don't have a story. There's no story at all. You need to introduce yourself with a story. We have no idea who Saul is yet. We have no idea why you call yourself the chef. Why did you come up with that? Where did you come up with that? What's the story? Tell the whole Epiphany Bridge script. You go right into tactics, which is great for you and I, but it is terrible for sales. So I would go in, and you have got to start with a story. There's no story in this funnel yet. There's a reason you're not making more money. Like, we've gone straight into you picking on me. And like, I need to have, like, someone needs to pick on me while I go through the funnel, but I have no affinity for you yet because you haven't gone through any story yet. You know what I mean? A lot of what I'll read down here, it sucks having poor returns on your investments. Like, but I don't care who you are yet, so why would I care about why you're writing this? You know what I mean? So I actually haven't read all this because without that backdrop, much of this is not going to be nearly as impactful. So it can be very impactful though if you just go back through and, man, you got to do like 60% story, 40% content. That's seriously like how it goes. And if not, anyway, yeah. But I think that's what's going on with that. Second thing. So we need an offer. We need scarcity urgency on this page. Shrink everything up. The headline here, like, what if you said something that said like, now that you have more leads, do they have more leads? No, but they feel like they just got them because they downloaded the thing, right? It scratched that itch. Now they have more leads. That means nothing unless you can convert them, right? Does that make sense? Super powerful to do it that way. Right? It's kind of like, actually is when, funny enough, I have the book right next to me. I feel like one of those cooking shows. I didn't have time to cook it here, so I previously made one ahead of time. This pre-prepared thing. Inside the .com Secrets book funnel, he says in that funnel, it's actually, I think it's the second upsell. Hey, having these sweet funnels is awesome, but means nothing if you can't get traffic. So buy this thing so that you have traffic to your funnels. And you're like, oh, salt goes real I mean, that pairs with pepper, right? So I would approach it that way instead. So convert leads into paying customers. Like, you're coming from a heavy direct response marketing background in terms of like the the verbiage, the vocab. Most people are not going to understand that there's a difference between capturing the lead and converting the lead. Sometimes in people's minds that's the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not clear enough. So convert leads into paying customers without having a cold call. I, in my head, wasn't even considering cold calling, but you put that thought in my head by calling out cold calling. So you're without, I would totally change the without here. Without having to blank. Convert leads into paying customers while leads without conversions is terrible, or something. You want. I would reword it in a thought where it's like, leads without conversions doesn't work, so you need this thing next. Here's how to, you could do is put something like, how to convert all your leads automatically while you look at other parts of your business, while you grow other parts while you capture additional revenue, right? Because I wasn't even thinking about cold calling till you brought it up. And now I can't click on this button unless I agree to start cold calling. You know what I mean? So everyone who's like listening or watching this now, like, people don't just have ideas being put in their head around their thing unless you bring them up. So you got to go back and start looking and saying, like, what am I putting inside my customer's head? What this is a second qualification in order to click this button. So I will not click your buy button unless I believe that, number one, I have leads, that I can convert leads into paying customers, that I feel like I have a product, that I have, that I was thinking about cold calling and now I don't have to. Like, the level of qualifications that are now placed on me clicking that button is massive. And then I don't know what the offer even is, and there isn't scarcity and urgency. I'm not harping on you. I'm just sharing with you what I see on this. There's no scarcity and urgency with this. I don't know why I'm enrolling today. There's no logical scarcity urgency either. Take this. This is going away because, like, I hate fake scarcity and urgency. It drives me nuts. So you can make real scarcity and urgency, right? Hey, these bonuses will go away at this time. You can still buy the thing, but the bonuses will leave, or whatever. And you can automate all that. And I do those things. But the easiest way to make it where you're not putting all these barriers, because right now, what do I have to do as a customer to qualify clicking that button, right? I just went through all that list. What you need to be doing, everyone who's watching or listening to this, is figuring out ways to drop the barriers to clicking on your buy button, right? And you do that by switching to benefits, not features. This is a very features focused headline and offer right now. This feature, that feature. We want benefits. And I know, like, you could argue, like, you're going to convert leads into paying customers. It sounds like it's pure benefits, but then the benefits that you have on there feel like barriers. Man, I didn't convert leads. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody. You're saying I have to talk to somebody. And you're like, no, you don't have to. But you brought it up. You know what I mean? And I need to already have a product. I might not have a product yet at looking at this page. But into paying customers, like, oh man, so I need to have a product. I need to be willing to speak to people, right? I need to know what a funnel already is. I need to, there's a lot of stuff that is placed in terms of me being able to push that button. Anyway, I'm just going to tell you, just me to you guys, unless what I'm selling is mid-range to high ticket, I almost never put my order page on a separate thing. Okay, almost unless it's continuity based, mid ticket, high ticket. Usually, always my offer, my checkout, will be at the bottom of the sales page. And some people might fight me on that, some whatever. But anyway, I would just simplify the order page quite a bit. Do you need my street address? Like, are you shipping something? Because if you're not, I would get rid of it. You legally don't have to collect billing address anymore for a credit card. Do you need my phone number? Right? A cool way to justify getting the phone number, say phone number, because we'll give you a free discovery call also, or whatever. Everything that here's what you're going to get, that should be on the first page as well as this one here. The value and the price needs to be underneath the main video. Guys, hopefully, and again, I got to end this here because my episode time is, I usually try not to go above 30 minutes here with this, but there is a principle that will make all of your funnels convert way better, and that is that when I'm on page 1, I only sell the button that's on page 1. When I'm on page 1, I do not sell the offer on page 3. When I am writing my subject line for an email, I only am selling the fact that they should click on the email and open it. When I am writing the email, I don't sell the offer that's on the next page that they click over to. I only sell the next click. Okay, when you are building these funnels and these offers, guys, like, I I should click here to buy, right? So for me to click here and then finally see the offer and the price and everything, like, I should go here to put my credit card in, already knowing what the offer is, already knowing what the price is, already knowing that why there's scarcity and urgency and I need to act now, already knowing how it's going to be fulfilled to me, right? Like, anyway, so just basically every time I make a sales page, every time I make an order page, whatever, I should never have to scroll down and I can see the sales message, the offer, the call to action, scarcity, urgency. That is all without me ever having to move or scroll anywhere. So yeah. And then the OTO page, there's just not enough data for me to check that out. And then this is part of what I was saying though, like, it feels like you're selling cooks. I get the chef thing, but like, I don't know that you've actually even called out funnel builders here. I'm not sure who you're selling yet. So anyway, awesome. Hopefully it's helpful. Guys, if you want me to do this kind of review on a funnel like yours, go to coachmesteve.com. It's the notification list that I have. So whenever I do have an opening, what I do is I just drop an email straight to that list and I just say, hey, here you go. First come, first serve. Here's the time I have, and here's like a little order page so you can grab some of my time. There's little options on there as well. But anyway, if you want to be notified next time I do have an opening, just go to coachmesteve.com and I can dive through your funnel, your offer, and your message with you as well. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Thanks for being on Sales Funnel Radio, and go get rich. Hey, thanks for listening. The most common question I get is, Steve, will you look at my funnel? Of course. Whether you want me to coach you, give some hand-holding and guidance during your funnel build, or simply review the one you have, head over to coachmesteve.com and book your session now.